Canton police said somebody shot and killed a young man on a dirt path.
They're under arrest in connection to a separate shooting here.
If our youth have more options that they can choose from as far as extracurriculum, then they have something to put their mind on instead of killing each other.
Canton, Mississippi is a small city 496 miles from the Mississippi River. Canton is full of very rich history. Films like My Dog Skip and A Time to Kill were both filmed in the city of Canton. As you drive through the city of Canton, you can see all of the beautiful landmarks and even museums that expand on the rich history of Canton. The Canton Freedom House served as the local headquarters of the Congress of Racial Equality. The house was bombed in 1964. Civil rights leaders, including Martin Luther King Jr. and James Meredith, sought refuge and organized protest at the Freedom House. Today, the restored structure is a civil rights museum housing photographs, articles, and civil rights memorabilia. Although the history in Canton, Mississippi is very rich, the crime in the community continues to increase as the years go on. According to the 2018 FBI crime statistic reports, high homicide rates are recorded in Canton, Mississippi, especially among young people, which spikes youth violence in the region.
We know our teenagers are shooting all over the city, and we know they're carrying weapons. Some of the weapons are stolen. We're trying to find out where they're getting them from.
Jarvis Brown is an engineering and robotics instructor at the Canton Career Center and also a graduate of Canton High School. Mr. Brown has interactions with students every day and is able to see the effects these heinous crimes have on the students of the community.
All the crime that's going on in our city on the outside, they bring all the extra drama to the school, which distract other students and distract them to being the best they can be in the future.
Options for counseling are given to all students that are in need of it.
In our district, we have 9 locations, and at all of the locations, we have counselors that are open to our students to talk to them about any and everything that's going on in school and outside of school. Personally, for me, I'm open to my students where they can talk about anything with me and to me, because sometimes at home they can't just vent to their parents or their guardian.
While dealing with the harsh realities of the outside world, students still have to put on a brave face and continue to go to school, which is easy for some, but not so much for many.
Earlier this week, I had a student to come to me. This particular student lost one of his parents, and he just came and vented to me about what's going on in his life. And he just told me that he really appreciated me for opening up to him to where he can open up to me and talk to me about whatever he's going through, for giving him encouraging words to get through whatever he's going through. So that kind of really just touched my heart to know that I have some type of impact on our students in the district or in high school. And I just, if one student's like that, I know there's plenty more students that needs to vent.
Mr. Brown stated options are given to students for counseling, but some students do feel as though those options are not easily accessible.
From personal experience, I've seen students come to school crying and all that, telling people like what was going on, but nobody actually did nothing about it.
Camelia Hoskins is a 10th grader at Canton High School. She is heavily involved in not only her school community by being a part of the school choir, but she is also involved in her church community.
I honestly feel like crime within this community is just not right. I feel like if our youth have more options that they can choose from as far as extracurriculum, then they have something to put their mind on instead of killing each other. For one, not only our generation, but just people around our age in high school, we are the future, and we have to set examples for the children younger than us.
Miss Renato, a native of Canton, Mississippi, founded the Canton Jaguars, a football team comprised of young men in the community.
Started this organization to help mentor the young women and young men in the community to help them stay on the right track.
We have a couple activities such as little league teams. My cousins play, and I think it puts a big role on their behavior. But I also think that's not enough. I think some activities like opening the Boys and Girls Club back up, maybe summer swimming lessons, or just get together and probably like hair classes. A lot of boys like to cut hair, teach them how to be a barber, things of that nature.
Jamaica Johnson and Iviana Gross held a cosmetology camp to encourage entrepreneurship within the young women in the community.
What we say box braids, which is braid with extension, scalp braids, knotless braid, which is very popular right now. So, and we want to teach them, sew-ins and stuff that all fall under them having a braiding license.
I think crime is increasing, particularly over the last 2 years, because people have had more free time on their hands. Given the pandemic, there were a large group of the population that were out of work or working from home for a large period of that time. And so that gave them more time on their hands to engage in that type of activity.
COVID-19 impacted various businesses, but one of those businesses that people don't regularly talk about is the funeral home.
In this business, I noticed that a lot of families, believe it or not, even though they're most of the service are graveside, I've seen a tremendous increase in what families actually spend on funeral services.
COVID-19 and crime are fighting a battle in Canton, Mississippi. But what can the school system do to ensure that the crime will start to decrease?
Schools in particular can spend more of their funding on funding extracurriculars for the children to be able to engage in, so that their time is not as open, so that they can, engage in whatever club or whatever activity that they are interested in. Maybe have the students come up with their own ideas for clubs or sports teams that they want to see on campus, so that they will, be more involved in school and just spend less time away from the academic arena. I think that by increasing the funding for those extracurriculars will help mitigate some of those issues.
Although the crime is still prevalent in the community, all it takes is one person to promote change, and it will be a domino effect for others. Canton is a city full of hope and potential, but it is being overshadowed by the crime and violence in the community.
I do feel that the youth is being impacted by this increasing crime. I think that it is pushing them farther away from the city, and so once they do go off to college or to trade school or the military, it incentivizes them to stay away because of this increase in crime.
I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. If I get through to one person, my job is complete.